As time goes on, it just becomes harder and harder for me to understand what goes on inside the mind of a statist, of someone who believes in the authority of states and governments as legitimate organizations. You see, the last time I was a statist, I was a child. I was a minor the last time I was a statist. My entire adult life, all these years, and I've been a libertarian for over 5 years now. All these years, I've been an anarchist, and I don't actually even understand why people can still be a statist. For a lot of libertarians, they go through what is called a minarchist phase. A minarchist phase is basically a phase in your libertarian journey where you compromise on the ultimate principle that is liberty by allowing for some sort of function of the government to exist in its most minimal nature possible, which is oxymoronic. There is no such thing as the most minimal state. There's nothing coherent that you can state about it. If you really wanted the most minimal state, it would just turn out to be a voluntary organization at the end of the day, indistinguishable from any other voluntary free organization in a free libertarian society. But it goes something like this: the minarchist state. It's also called the night watchman state, and that there's only a police, a military, and a court system. Its only purpose is to protect property rights. So I didn't go through that phase. Most libertarians do. Most libertarians, before they fully give up the idea of statism, they sort of bargain statism and to have the most minimal government possible for whatever reason. And being in this phase can take up to months, it could take up to years. It can even be regressive where you fall back towards regular forms of statism. For me, it didn't happen at all. I completely skipped it, actually. Before, I was vaguely aligned with the Republicans as much as a teenager could be, having just gained the ability of consciousness not so long ago. The world, as even like a teenager, even like if you're 19 years old, the world to me as a 19-year-old, and just like myself and how I understand myself and how I understand the world, is very different from how I understand the world now and how I understand myself and how I conduct myself now that I'm 22 years old. And I was an anarchist when I was 19. So it's not even like my political beliefs have changed all that much. But definitely my outlook on politics has changed. It has gotten significantly more negative. It's like every day I find myself hating government more than the previous day before. That has just been my entire adult life. Finding new lows of just hating people in general, hating normies who support this shit. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I am so disappointed with people. I think that's like another thing, me becoming an adult and being an anarchist adult, is just how incredibly disappointed I am with everyone else's critical thinking. It is so unrelatable. I don't understand how you can even still remain a statist at this point. To me, it just seems like everyone should just become an anarchist. To me, it's so clear that the government fucks us over every step of the way that we try to do some good in this world. Like, how much bullshit do you have to put up with before you can't take it anymore? And realize that this bullshit is coming from government. Endless inflation, endless taxes, endless wars, endless regulations. People must get sick of it. But I guess not. I really just don't understand. What makes a statist a statist? For me, I was instantly convinced with the arguments of anarchism. I was instantly convinced. So it's not very relatable to me. For maybe to you guys, many of you libertarians who had a minarchist phase, and many of you libertarians who became libertarians sometime in their adult life, maybe they can find it somewhat relatable, but I can't. I can't at all. I don't understand what goes through the minds of statists. It's been years since I've been a statist. Like I said, I can't even reconstruct what would be the thought process. To me, anarchism was so obvious. I needed little convincing of it. I was immediately convinced of it. And further, it seems like that I have my most success with communicating libertarians to young people, to people my age. It is nearly impossible for anyone other than Gen Z or maybe Gen Alpha, but I don't think I've ever really talked to anyone in Gen Alpha. I don't think they're even old enough yet. But I mean, I've talked to younger Gen Z. I'm like mid Gen Z. I've talked to younger Gen Z, and they seem the most receptive to libertarian ideas, in my opinion. Probably because their brain has not been completely fried by statism. Like talking with old people is is impossible. You can't. They're stuck in their old ways. Guess why they're called old people. Anyways, there's not much of a point to this video. I just didn't want to read, and I was trying to read, but I'm not actually a big fan of reading. But I kind of have to read because I kind of want to understand things. Anyways, checking out, signing off.